Next, we'll see what are the Java syntax, how we do coding in Java. In that, we'll see what is the Java source file structure, and then what are the Java keywords, identifiers, literals, and what are the variables, what are the data types supported by Java technology, and how to declare a variable and how to initialize it. Next, we have to see what are the operators, how we can typecast, and what is the typecasting here, and what is a flow control like if construct, for loop, while loop, all these things. And look at here. So after completing this session, you'll be able to create and recognize correctly structured source code. What is the legal identifiers and illegal identifiers? What are the primitive types? What are the reference types? And what are the different data types supported by Java? What are the correct format? How to initialize? How to declare variables? And what is the main method? And what is the argument we pass in the main method and how it works? And then we'll know what are the operators like unary operators, arithmetic operators, string operator, and then relation operators, conditional operators, logical operator, assignment operator. All these operators we'll see how it is used and how to work with that. Apart from these operators, we'll also see what is the object, what is the shift and bitwise operator, and if we are using number of operators in a some expression, then how it is evaluate, what is evaluation style, and what is the precedence of that, how we can typecast from one data type to another, that is called typecasting, how to typecast this primitive data type, and how to typecast reference data type. I'll tell you here. So in the flow control, we'll come to know what if else construct, switch case, while construct, do while, for loop, break continue, and break with level, continue with level, and what is the return statement, how we use it. Look at this source code. So first of all, if you're writing some code in Java, package is my first statement. If you're not having package, not a problem. So this line should be first, package, and then we'll use import. If you're not using package, okay, import will be the first. If you're not using import and package, you can have a public class Java, some class name. Java main is here. So your program start from declaring a class. So public class name you have to give. This class name must have a compatible with the naming convention. We are having some naming convention like it should start with letter, it should not start with number, it should not have a space. So you have to take care here. We can use some two symbol. We can use here underscore and dollar. These are the two symbols we can use in name. Next we are having public static void main string args, and then system audit plan welcome to Java. So there is a one class here, another class is here, two classes here. Now since this is a public class, so you have to save your file with java main.java. So that will be your file name. So this should match with your file name. And you cannot have a multiple public classes in one program. You can have only one, and it should match with class again. What is the use of import here? If you're using some libraries, if you're using some classes here, you have to import the package for that. Let us say we are using date class here. So there's one date class. If you're using this class, you have to import this util package. Okay. Now, comments. There are different type of comments supported by Java. So one is a single line comment. So this is the single line comment, and so next is a multi-line comment or block comment, and another is the documentation comment. So here is the single line. This is the multi-line or block comment. This is what? Documentation comment. This documentation comment help us to write this statement in my documents. When we create document for my this source code, then this data will go to the docs file. I mean documentation file. And next, if you're using some white spaces in between, there's no problem. Like you are having some white space here, so it is not a problem for that. These comments is just explaining what is happening in this line. Okay, print a message. Next, look at this program. Here we are having main class, and this is my main method. So this main method is entry point of your program execution. So let us say you have written 500 lines of code in your program. Then from where it will start? So this is your entry point. From here your program will start executing. So whatever I have written the code in between here to here, that will only get executed. If writing somewhere else and if you're not calling here, it won't work. So you have to call it here. It should come in main, then only it will function. It depends on the logic and all, how the flow. And that class is having this main method. This string.args help us to take command line argument. If you're making some program where user will enter some data on command prompt when the program is getting executed, at that time, then that value will be trapped in this args, and you can work with that. It is very much similar to like we are having in C++. If we talk about main method, in the main method we are having their int argc and then char star argv array, right? So these two guys help us to maintain command line argument. Here we are having just a string. That will help me to achieve the number of arguments, how many arguments we have passed. That all we can track here. Braces. Let us say I open 3 braces. You have to close it all 3. So opening and closing braces should be there. See this open, so it has been closed here. Class extra open and then closed. Next. So this is your entry point. Our program begins here. Okay. Now we are having one concept here, system out.println. This line help us to print something on the screen. Like we are having printf in C++ or C, right? In C++ we are having, let us say, cout. something which help us to print something on the console. Similarly, here also we are having system order print line. Okay. Now, every statement must terminate with semicolon. So you have to close it by semicolon here. You can have multiple statement. Next, we have to see Java keywords. What are the Java keywords we are having? We are having abstract, assert, right? Break, boolean, all these are the Java keywords. Extend, finally, final, float, for, go to, if implements. These all are the Java keywords. So what is Java keywords? It is a reserved words. Okay, which you cannot use as a variable, which you cannot use as a class name, interface name, or method name. These are the reserved words. If you look at here, abstract, assert, boolean, break, byte, case, catch, char, class, constant, continue, all these are the keywords. So I'll explain you in between. We'll use this keyword throughout the CoreJava when we'll write some program using all these keywords, default, do, double, and all. So we can explore all these keywords like this. Okay, instance of import, implements, all these keywords are there. Long, native, new, null, package, private, protected, public, all these are keyword. Return, sort, static, strict, happy, super, switch, synchronized. This, throw, throws, transient, true, try. Void, volatile, while. Okay, so these are the keywords we are having. Next is the identifiers. What are the identifiers? An identifier is the name given by programmer to a variable, statement, label, methods, class, and interface. So whatever the name we are giving, that is called identifiers. And as I said, identifier must have a letter, start with a letter. It can have underscore or dollar or some number. Subsequent characters must be letters, numbers, or any other sign like dollar or underscore. It should not be Java keyword. Just now I explained what are the Java keywords that we cannot use as a variable. Identifiers are case sensitive. So if I'm writing this switch and this switch, it's a two different stuff. This is the small, this is a capital, right? I can use this switch in a class name for variable name and all because S is a capital here. But this switch we cannot use because this is a reserved word. This is incorrect. 3 strikes. Strikes 3 we can use. White and print, this I have symbol used. I cannot use this. So instead of that I can use write underscore print. Print me is not the same as print me. So both are different because Java is case sensitive. You have to take care of that. A literal, what is a literal? It's value to variable. It's value to variable. What I mean, let us say you're having int I equal to 10. So what is 10? 10 is a literal for integer type I. Okay. Similarly, true and false is what? It is a literal for boolean. A, this is the Unicode characters, literal for character type. These numbers are literal for integer. Similarly, some fraction number 1 to 3.5, this is a literal for floating, float and double. Let us say if we talk about this is a literal of what? It is a string kind of literal. Even we are having some escape sequence like slash n for new line, slash t for tab, slash b for backspace, like that. What is a strongly typed means? As I said, Java is a strongly typed language, while JavaScript is a weakly typed language. Just four types are there in the JavaScript. So strongly typed means Java is a language that will only accept specific values within specific variable or parameters, right? Now look at this example. JavaScript. Here I declare one variable x, and then we are saying x equal to 1, x equal to text, x equal to true. So any kind of value we are storing. But is it possible with the Java? No. If I have int x, I can store only integer. I cannot do this. I cannot do this because these are the different type. Okay. So this will give you compilation error. So it will not accept these values because x is a int type. So only it will take integer value here. So we can say it is a capable to store only integer value, right? But in the previous one, x can store any kind of values.